to Empowered Educator Podcast, your place for personalized professional learning to go. Join me as I discuss educational topics that empower educators to take control and ownership of their own professional learning. I'm your host, Mel Vandevoort. You guys are going to love today's topic about Wakelet. It's now one of my favorite tools for educators. Wakelet is a content curation platform. My friend Laura Steinbrink describes it this way. Think of it like Google Drive and Pinterest has a baby and named it Wakelet. Then a radioactive insect bit Wakelet, giving it web page collaborative powers that move beyond curation. I love Laura's imagination. It's where teachers and students can save links, social media posts, videos, including YouTube, images, or documents. These items can then be organized into private or public collections. And you can do so many things within the collections, such as adding notes or other collections within an existing collection, asking questions, or giving directions. You can use it as a classroom platform for learning and collaborating, student portfolios, organizing for web pages, or to create exciting classroom lessons and activities. Wakelet also lets you personalize the header with an image from the library, or you can add your own. Students and teachers are using this tool every day in so many different ways. It's so versatile. You can organize, rearrange, change the layout. You know, as parents, we spend months trying to get our babies to talk. When they get older, we try just as hard to get them to not to, in the words of Mater from Cars. But how are they supposed to learn to be orators if we don't let them orate? Holly Clark mentioned in an episode of Educational Duct Tape that students have to learn to explain themselves out loud and develop that skill to be able to read and write effectively. Wakelet makes it easy to get students talking because they also integrated it with Flipgrid video. Wakelet has made this process super easy as well. Just open the collection in which you want to add the video, click on the video button, and you connect right to Flipgrid. You don't have to hop back and forth from Flipgrid to Wakelet. You can create the video right in Wakelet. Wakelet also makes it easy to connect with Google Drive and OneDrive with just the click of a button from inside a collection. So how did Wakelet become part of my educational journey? Well, my friend Laura that I mentioned earlier started tweeting about using Wakelet as a platform in the classroom with her students. Laura is definitely someone that I listen to about educational tools, especially technology tools. If she is using it, then she has thoroughly evaluated it for use and effectiveness in education. She was talking about Wakelet a lot. I was intrigued, so I joined. I created a collection, I followed her, and that was it for about a year. I got busy and I didn't think about it anymore. But I kept seeing these tweets that Laura and several others kept tweeting about, and I remembered that I had already created a Wakelet account. So I jumped back on. Then I realized how great it actually is and how it could transform not only my own professional learning, but the learning of others, including students. My first use of Wakelet was to curate tweets that I didn't want to lose. I'd been bookmarking them in Twitter, but after a while they were really just becoming a big hot mess, and I didn't want to look at them anymore because it was too hard to find that one tweet that I was sure that I had marked last year in June, or was it May? Or, well, maybe it was April. You see my conundrum? Then Jake Miller of Educational Duct Tape started using some of the duct tapers, which I am proud to be a member of, to help curate the Educational Duct Tape Twitter chats using Wakelet. Jake was gracious enough to clue me into the fact that there is a Wakelet button right on each tweet for super quick curation. What? Now I just click the Wakelet button, choose the board I want to add it to, and voila, saved and organized super fast. You may be wondering why you don't have a Wakelet button embedded in your Twitter feed. Well, you have to install it first, and it can be found in the Google and Apple stores. There are collections for just about everyone out there. You can search the website for just about any topic and get tons of ideas for your classroom. Topics like ditch book, social emotional learning, specific content ideas related to math, ELA, science, and social studies topics, restorative practice, problem and project-based learning, PE, Bunsey, and I could keep going, but I won't. You get the picture. Instructional coaches, special education teachers, and administrators can find information on just about anything you want to search for. You name it, it's probably there. These are pins that you can check out and implement immediately in your classroom or building. The new collaboration tool is quickly becoming the go-to collaboration tool for teachers, and Wakelet is constantly adding new features to it. Teachers and students can have class discussions and do group research. Teachers can use it for formative or summative assessments as well. There are 3 ways to connect. You can connect with a shareable link, or with a code, or by scanning a QR code. Students don't even need a Wakelet account with the code, as they can join anonymously. Collection owners can then easily manage contributor settings. And there is, of course, a Wakelet app for your mobile device, and you can collaborate right from your Wakelet collections on the go. This would be fun for adding pictures of student events right into a collection right on the spot. Imagine adding snapshots of sporting or club events right to a collection for others to see in real time. And you can pretty much do anything in the app that you can do on the desktop. Wakelet has a badging program with 3 levels. As a Wakelet community member, you get to hear announcements first, test new features, and provide feedback. There's also a community ambassadorship, which I am proud to say that I am part of. This level is a little more in-depth, and you have to qualify for this level. When I was announced as an ambassador, I made my family call me Mrs. Ambassador for a few days and serve me coffee and desserts. They really enjoyed that. Ambassadors live the Wakelet life to its fullest, and Wakelet just recently added a 3rd level called Community Leader. Badges are available for each of these levels to show others that you are riding the Wakelet wave. But Wakelet didn't stop with just educators. They included students with a Student Ambassador program. This program activates the 6 C's: creativity, critical thinking, curation, communication, citizenship, and collaboration. And it empowers students to become leaders. Wakelet is always refining this tool by using the feedback they get from the community and ambassadors. You didn't think I would talk about this cool tool without connecting it to professional learning, did you? Well, this year, they held their first Wakelet Community Week, a 5-day event that was a huge success with 12,000 educators taking part, representing 70 different countries. This was a week of webinars featuring speakers that I know you will recognize. Educational leaders like Ken Shelton, Matt Miller, Amy Storer, and Holly Clark were just a few. Some of my favorite webinars were Microsoft and Wakelet Together, Tech Like a Pirate, and Using Wakelet as a Tech Coach. If you missed this awesome event, you can still experience all the fun because they saved it to a Wakelet collection. I will have a link to this Wakelet collection in the show notes. Wakelet also has webinars for professional learning on a continuing basis. I've been using it to curate different certification sites so I can remember, for one thing, because I have a terrible memory, and then I'm able to direct others to my Wakelet collection and share those with others as well. I even found information on my next endeavor, educational consulting. When I was starting Empowered Educator Podcast, there was a lot of useful information to help me get going. Wouldn't it be awesome to start a classroom podcast so your students can tell others, especially parents and the community, what's happening in your room in a super fun way? And just think about the value of teaching the kids how to start a podcast. There's a lot that goes into it, I found out. Kids love to talk. What a great outlet for that. And one of them may even realize a career in radio or television. The Wakelet team is always at your fingertips to answer questions. You can find tutorials on YouTube and at the Wakelet Surf School. And the Wakelet community on Twitter is always willing to help. If you look around, I bet you can even jump in on a Wakelet Twitter chat. There are a few collections that I recommend following. Aaron Flanagan of Air Integration has some really cool collections, including mystery boards highlighting a word of the week with a tech flair that you can copy and make your own. She's also included countdown calendars that you can add an activity to and count down the days until Christmas break, the end of school, or whatever you would like. I also recommend Laura's Wakelet. She has a lot of professional learning collections, including one on the many uses of Wakelet. And, of course, the Wakelet team has collections you can follow. And I have all of the links to these collections in the show notes, which you can find on my website, empowerededucator.com. Oh, did I mention it's free? You know, like the commercial, free, 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 free. So don't wait any longer. Head over to wakelet.com and get started today. Thank you for joining me today on Empowered Educator. All of the information and links from today's podcast will be on my website, empowerededucator.com. You can listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Stitcher. Remember, professional learning should be sustainable, applicable, active, and targeted. So power up for personalized professional learning to go.